Welcome to String Scale Models. I'm Jason, your host, and this is our after Christmas special about what we got for the channel, what's coming up, and probably the last stream until the new year. So let's take a look here. We have a big bag of goodies. It's a good sized bag. I had it on the table and then I had a glitch with the recording, so I'm not going to put it up here again. And then I have something I'm going to work on if we need more time. So one of the first things coming up on the channel, and then I have stuff for here, is some parts for some Xbox One S's, and then I'll eventually have some parts for the One X. So I already have a Xbox One original known good unit, and then I have one to fix. So I'll be diagnosing one of those, and then I'll be keeping one for a known good board. I have an S coming in that I'll be doing videos on. And then this is a lot of this. What we're going to see today is parts for the Xbox One S. So I may not know what these parts are off the top of my head. But I do have them written down on a spreadsheet. So let me just see. This is from DigiKey. I like the fact that I can get these parts from DigiKey. So it's not a lot of parts, but it's enough to get me started on a couple. Maybe a couple no power and things like that. So what do we have here? This is a TPN 8R903. This is a MOSFET N-channel 30 volt 20 amp transistor, MOSFET transistor. So I have 10 of these. I believe these are the MOSFETs for the Xbox One for the different phases. Hello, Hall. How's it going? Happy New Year to you, too. I hope you got a good Christmas, if you celebrate Christmas, or happy holidays, some time off. This is an NCP 5901BMNTB thing. It's an IC gate driver half bridge, 8QFN. So this one is, I believe, the MOSFET driver. So we have 10 of those. Then we have 10 of these other in-channel MOSFETs. Did I order this twice? Yeah, I ordered the same MOSFET twice. Yeah, I ordered the same. Well, I have 20 of those. This is TPD. This is a diode 5.5 volts, 15 volts. 10 of these. This is TPD2E1 B06DRLR. I'm going to look that one up real quick. Won't take me but a second. What is that one? What is that? Oh, this may be the filters. This may very well be the filters. Let's just check this to see if this is the filters. Yeah, that's the filter. So, okay, that's the filters. Then we have 3 of the ESD boost signal boost chips. These are the little BGA chips that go on an Xbox One. Then we have 20 QFN, 10 of these. These are a MOSFET driver IC. I believe these are MOSFET driver ICs, TP51916. It says IC regulator 2 out 20 QFN. And then these are HDMI retimers, just 3 of the retimers for the Xbox One S. This is the SN75DP159. So that is the components I have for the Xbox One S so far. I have some more stuff, but this is the components for it that I ordered off DigiKey. Thank you, Micromage, for helping me with that list, and thank you, The Coder, for helping me with that list. They have YouTube channels. They are super helpful people. So, I don't want to lose that. I'm going to write on here, Xbox One S, Xbox One S, because I have a bag coming with Xbox One X stuff in it. And I don't want to mix up the components, even if some are the same. So, then I have a couple little things here. This is a little box. I know what some of this stuff is, but some of the stuff arrived, and I'm not sure. I didn't really go through it when I opened it for Christmas, so... this seems like it's in a nice wrapping, so I'm not going to try to mess it up. I use a dull razor blade, that's funny. So this looks like the power board for an Xbox One S. So this is the power board. It's got the eject button here. Power button here. So this is a known good front panel power board for the Xbox One S. So that's what that is. So we'll put that back in its box, and I will write on here. Let's leave the marker out from now on, so we will write on here. Xbox One S power panel. Okay, so put that with the Xbox One S stuff. Let's see what we have here. Okay. Oh, a roll of copper tape. This is good. Center's coming out of it, but what can you do? It's cheap. So this is a roll of 1-inch copper tape. I need this. Hey Chris, how's it going? This is a 1-inch roll of copper tape. It's for the Nintendo Switch. I had to replace some, so I got a roll. Basically, stuff I normally order from Amazon got all wrapped up because I wasn't allowed to have it, and put in a bag for me to have. Another thing coming up on the channel is this is my old iPhone 6 Plus here, and it just needs a new battery. There's nothing else wrong with it, and we're thinking about giving it to my son for texting through the house and stuff on Wi-Fi, so it just needs a new battery, so I have a battery coming. So I've never opened an iPhone before, so that's going to be an experience. If I open it and get it working, great. If not, then oh well. So, but in preparation for that, I ordered a battery for it, and then I ordered one of these screw mat things that where you put the screw and you label it, because yeah, I've seen so many horror story videos of people putting screws in the wrong place. So this is a screw mat that you put there's the iPhone 6, and then it tells you where to put all your screws. So, but the 6 Plus is what I need. 6S, 6 Plus. So there we go. See, it's a nice little screw mat. That one out of there. The 6 Plus there. I thought it was a separate magnet for each thing until then I realized that it wasn't. It was one magnetic pad for, and you just put the new thing in there. But it tells you the order you need to take out the screws, and it has you place the screws where the screws go. And then it tells you the order of the screen assembly, so, and what spot they plug into, so that's pretty good. Having never opened an iPhone, I thought this was a good thing. This came free with the battery. So they came separately, but this was free with the battery. This little kit here. So I think I paid $15.99 or $16.99 for the battery. So that is something that I'm going to try. I also have an iPad mini that is very, very old. I don't know if I can get it working. I believe it's a first gen mini. So I'm not sure if it's even fixable. But I'm going to take it apart and try to work on that and see if I can get that working and whatnot. So we have an Xbox coming up. We have an iPhone 6 Plus. We have an iPad mini that we're going to be looking at. And then I have another Switch coming that needs to be looked at. This, I got the Troll Phil. This one's pretty cool. I was hoping he'd be here when I opened it, but he's not. Oh well. He was notified. So, let's see here. I wouldn't have bought this normally, but it's so funny. This is an X-clamp remover for Xbox. It's for taking off the X-clamp. It just pops under there and you pop it off. These are 99 cents. And, you know, they're pretty sturdy. So, it's just funny that he always looks like a grim horror show pulling these off. And these things are like 99 cents. And I got it in like 2 days. So, yeah. So, I got this little X-clamp remover. And I think it's going to be pretty cool. So, yeah, that's going to be neat. Looking forward to trying that. You know, trying to get those X-clamps off did, like, you know, worry me a little bit. But, you know, I was going to try a different technique and try different techniques until I found one that worked. But we'll try that one. And so we got the little X-clamp remover. This is a universal board holder that I'm going to use for various whatnots and things like that. This was in my list that someone got me without my knowledge. People hacking into my list. No, not really hacking into my list, but go into my list. So I've seen these type of board holders out there before. You know, you can place boards in different ways. I'm not sure how they'll hold a switchboard. I guess we can look at the rabbit hole switch and see how it holds the board. I also got an interesting test that I'm going to be doing here. I have to order the pins for it here in January. I found the right ones. Let's see if this will even hold this board here. No, not really. See, is there a way to... that holds the board and all, but And if you're not careful, you're going to whack some components off real bad. I mean, if you're not careful, you're going to knock some components off. It's in there. I'm not sure if it's any better than my Omnivice, but if you're doing some testing, maybe it's a good holder. But I'm not 100% sure. But what fascinated me about this was these little chip holding sections here that you can put different size ICs in. And I wonder here, can I take an old M92 and put it in one of these holes here? Will it fit in one of these holes? Oh, it's just too big for any of these. I was hoping it would fit in one of these little squares here. And nope. I guess something else coming for that. So, but this will hold a phone board. If I would need to work on a phone board, or possibly something for reballing a chip or whatnot. So it's a little board holder. You know, it's also got a little tray there, so could do some different things with it. We'll test it out, see how we like it. You know, you could always use a board holder for something. So, my wife got me this. It's a little desktop darts. So if I'm sitting here waiting for something to upload or download or render or something, I can play little desktop darts. Show you that here. You know, it's one of these little desktop dad gifts. You know, a little magnetic thing, and you throw it at it like that. You know, you're 3 inches away and you still can't hit anything. So that's that, you know, little desktop darts there. So that's interesting. All right, let's see what else we got. Oh, this was neat. This is a touch activated candy dispenser, and I am half tempted to tear this down. I really truly am half tempted to tear this down. It's already been filled and got it working because we wanted to see if the candy was the right size. But I eat a lot of candy just to snack on, and you turn it on here, and then you put your finger there, and it just shoots. As long as you let go, it shoots out a bunch of. This happens to be chewy lemon heads, but it's for my side table because, you know, it's a little candy dispenser. So, yeah, it's got a little touch sensor on there. So, when this is empty, I am determined to see how this works. So, if I can get into it non-destructively, I will be looking into that. So, yes, exactly. So that looks pretty cool. It's got look like a worm gear in it and the touch sensor. I'm interested to see how all that works. So when that's empty and if I can get into it non-destructive, I will. So this, I believe, is a replacement disk drive for an Xbox One S. Oh, it comes with screwdrivers. Look at that. And I bet you couldn't open an Xbox with one of these. Let's see here. Yep, this is replacement disk drive for the One S. I know you can't replace it straight out. You have to swap the daughter boards, and that's what this is designed to do. This is so I have a known good component for testing. So I'll have a known good actual switch, but I like to have the actual known good stuff on hand, just so I can swap it out if I need to. Thank you, Retropole. Happy New Year to you. Okay, so this is an Xbox One S disk drive. I'm labeling this now because the Xbox One X stuff is coming soon. So this is, I opened this because I thought it was in a different package. This is a hard drive, a 500 gigabyte hard drive for the Xbox One X. I'll just write it down here. 500 GB for the Xbox One S. It's not just for the One S, but it's on there. So that is that. I'm not going to open that up because it's got all the EDC. This is a power supply for the Xbox One S. Right there, power supply. I might do something where I can hook this up to my bench and control it. So right on here, Xbox One S power supply. So we got a nice little pile of Xbox One S stuff over there. I think this is the last piece of it here. This is a Bluetooth module. Yep, Bluetooth Wi-Fi module here. So Bluetooth Wi-Fi module. So just stick it with the stuff. I'm not going to write on that one at the moment. I might put it with something else. So that's all the stuff on there. A lot of people had mentioned that I had an issue with my charger for my bench for my Switches, and I got this Nintendo Switch OEM charger to replace it. The one I had was supposedly OEM, but it was leaving me to suspect. So I got an actual one. This one I got from Amazon and not eBay. So I paid a little bit more for it, but I know it's an original. I know for a fact it's a Nintendo, and it's going to be guaranteed. If it doesn't work right, I can send it back. So that is going to be replacing the one that I used to test up here. And I'm actually going to take apart the one that I had in a minute here and see if there's a way I can hook it to the bench power supply. There's only a few things left. Just get them out here. So this was the guy who sent me that big set with the iFixit that had the combo Manta set and the thing. I sent that back to him, said it was too big, it fell over and stuff fell out. Well, he sent me the smaller Maya Manta. I thought it was Manta, but it's Maya Mahi. He sent me the smaller one because he says, "Oh, but you're going to be doing the Xbox soon." And I'm like, "Yeah," but that thing was just too big and atrocious. So he sent me the smaller one that hopefully will sit on my magnet box over here. So it's a smaller one, same big handle, same bits. So it should have the stuff to take out the, yeah, they just got T10. No T8 though. Yeah, that other bigger set had the T8. This doesn't have the T8. This has got T10 and up. No T9 either. So if I want to use the T9, I'll have to use my smaller set. So it does have the T10 though, so that's, it's a little set, and I'm hoping that it will fit on a magnetic strap here. Nope, it doesn't. So I will put a magnetic pad on the back of this and take care of that. So that is that. So we got a little one. I'm hoping to hang it by my other one there. This is a cable that I can hook a Xbox One hard drive up to my USB port in my computer to read it on Crystal disk drive for testing hard drives. This is a little Bead Bag Toss game that my wife got for my desk, or a table anywhere. I'm sitting a lot. She apparently thinks I need something to do, so that's sweet of her. So this is a little Bead Bag Toss, and then we can play this here. We get a little frustrated from fixing something, come in here and nope. Oh, there we go. Oh, nope. So you do things like, is this switch gonna work? No. Yeah. Woo. Woo. Oh, no. Okay. So I got a little bit better. I got one extra in there that time, but I don't know. I don't know where she gets these, but I know they're not expensive. But it's I mean, she gets me some pretty neat stuff. So she finds cool little gifts like this all the time. I know they're probably everywhere, but I didn't go out Christmas shopping this year, so I didn't get the gifts on the level that I would have liked to. I designed and printed some circuit boards for some family members' stuff, and built those for them. But I wasn't happy with what I was able to give people this year. I wasn't able to do the normal effort I put into it. My wife made me this beautiful basket, and I only got her a few things, and I wasn't, I'll find something else for her. Alright, so let's take a look at this last thing. This is a stick vise. I got this off a recommendation of Micromage as working for the with the Switch. The Omni vise is nice and all, but this is supposed to be pretty good for the Switch. And I got the high temperature jawls for it too. So it's supposed to be 800C, the jawls. Anybody asked, this tabletop is high density, high temperature polypropylene, and it can withstand a great deal of temperature, and it doesn't, nothing sticks to it. That's why I have that tabletop. Scale models tend to have some issues, so it's a low profile PCB vise here. So let's see here. Let's take a look at, I believe he was holding the Switch like this, maybe. Yeah, I like that. It holds it on the edge, but it still locks it in. No components are being touched. Yeah, that's really locked in there. Wow, thank you, Micro. This is actually a pretty good. I know he's not going to be in here because he's on a different time zone, but this is pretty nice. Can I get the scope in here? Is the scope going to work? Slide over to the scope, and let's put the scope in the corner. Let's see here. So there's M92 right there. So there's M92. Can you actually get in here to grab M92? Yeah, there's room to work around there, so not bad. It's nice. I don't know how it comes with nylon jaws, so I don't know how well the nylon jaws will hold up. So I am going to go ahead and change those to the high temperature ones here. We'll go ahead and do that. Oh, it's got two different profiles. It's got the lock-in kind of V-shaped notch. I don't know if you can see that little V-shaped notch there. And then it also has this little step side. So depending on how you want it, I like the little V notch, so that's what I'm going to go with. Let's get a screwdriver kit out here. And get a Phillips bit. That's way too small. That's too small too. Probably should have used the new screwdriver set, but you know. Appears you can put the jaws on the other side, but I don't have another set of screws. But this seems pretty neat. He has a couple different PCB board mounts that he uses that I find pretty interesting. So he is very helpful. You should check out his channel. It's Micromage Repair. You can search it on YouTube. I think he's the only one that comes up. He does great graphic artwork on his channel, like his overlays and his stream. You know, I have subscribed for more videos permanently there, which I'm probably going to change. We have 4 people watching. I've been doing some thinking, and maybe I grew out of my engineering scale models name for the channel, and it is kind of a mouthful to say if I'm chatting in other chat rooms and stuff. I know a lot of people know I'm Jason and they talk to me as Jason, but then the channel doesn't get recognized. And I was thinking of labeling it BEER, beer, and then people could chat that, and then it would stand for Beyond Engineering and Electronics Repair. So if you like that, if you're watching this back in a video, leave me a comment saying if you like that name. But it's Beyond Engineering and Electronics Repair. There's no other channel that has that name, and it seemed appropriate. It seemed like an appropriate name for my channel. So, and then, you know, I could set it up so that the BEER comes first, and then, you know, people can use the acronym BEER to reference me in a chat window. So that may be something I do in the future. Not sure. So that's pretty good board holder. So we'll put these jaws in there so they don't get lost. So board holder, iFixit kit. So that's about it for the goodies. So let's work on something here. Let me have some coffee first. Hold on. Let's unplug this old switch charger here and get it out of here, and let's get the new one hooked up. Otherwise, so there's the new charger. Alright, so this is supposed to not give me any issues with charging. Okay, so there we go. That's plugged in. So I want to get a lav mic set up here so I don't have to have headphones on. And then if I do that, I will use the face camera more because I don't like using the face camera with the headphones on. I'm also hoping this year with the new projects and the stuff, I'm going to work better on my thumbnails and things like that and do different, help do the channel. I wanted to get to 700 subscribers this month by the end of the year, and I did it. On Christmas Day, I hit my goal of 700 subs. So I appreciate everyone who subscribed to the channel. I appreciate it. So let's see if we can open this old charger that was supposed to be OEM and it's not. So I'm assuming there's a screwdriver in here. No screw hole there. It means it's all clipped together. Seriously. All right, let me get my declipping tool. Just bring out the whole declipping we're here. All right, so this is my take it apart box. Oh, this is going to be glued together. Yeah, this is going to be glued. Oh, this is going to be interesting. Yeah, that's not even budging anywhere. Yep, this is going to be interesting to get into. Alright, let me get my little persuasion stick. Call this my elf hammer. This is my little elf hammer here. Okay, so that's loud. I realize that. I'm sorry about that. I need my metal block here. Alright, let's see if that loosened anything up. No, it's not loosening it up at all. That is something right there. Right, there we go. We got something here. This looked like it may have just been clipped in, but you can go ahead and watch YouTube, buddy. So my son just woke up here. So, yeah, so hold on, we may have this here, or not. Now, when you take this out, because it was just plugged in, and it's been plugged in for a while, you don't want to touch any of these capacitors or the bottom of these capacitors at all. So, what I'm going to do first is I am going to I'm going to show you how to do this. I'm going to show you real easily how to discharge capacitors without any kind of issue at all. This is going to be real simple. I'm going to set this up from scratch so you guys can do it here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come into my little box here that my leads go in, and I'm going to grab out this little tweezer thing. This should work. And I'm going to take out the separator that I hook them together with. And I'm going to place in a alligator clip on each side. I'll do these two. So these may fit in there, or they may need an extension. Nope, they fit. So we'll plug this one in there, and we'll plug this one in there, and I'll show you exactly what to do to discharge a capacitor in any power supply. Because I know it was brought up. Yeah, be careful. Yeah, Chris, I want to show you how to discharge a capacitor in any power supply. I am going to get my big boy resistors out here, and I have one. That is definitely not the right joy resistors. Alright, let's see what we got here. Okay, so I'm going to take me a 1 meg ohm resistor, half watt. This is a half watt 1 meg resistor. You can use bigger, but 1 meg is plenty to do for these circuits. And I'm going to take that and I'm going to hook it in here like that. I'm actually going to bend up the leads so it's not going to come out. I don't want them to be touching. So I'm going to plug in one end here like so. And I'm going to plug the other end like so. You guys can actually solder 2 wires together to a resistor and plug it in to a pair of jacks like this on these right here. You can put little lights on it, little LEDs, if the LED will go out. So we're going to pull this board out. I'm not touching it. I'm touching it by this rubber part here, and we're going to flip it over, and we're going to look for that capacitor. Now I'm going to zoom in here so you can see what I'm looking at, so you can see where that capacitor is, right? Okay, so you're going to be able to tell this capacitor off right here because it has a discharge resistor going across it. It has a 600, nope, that's a current 60, that's 62 ohms. Well, the capacitor is here. Right here to here is the capacitor. Oh, it doesn't matter how you do it, but don't touch the capacitor and just run your leads across it. And if you use a 1 mega ohm resistor, count to 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now I know that that is discharged, so I know that is discharged. I don't recommend the screwdriver technique. A lot of people have done that. I've seen a screwdriver explode and put shrapnel in somebody's eye because they weren't careful with capacitors. It can be dangerous. There is an X2 capacitor buried under this glue that is right here that I am going to spread the tweezers on and discharge that through that resistor. This is a lot more sophisticated than I had anticipated, but we are going to make this work. So that's discharged. There's a little capacitor right here, and there is 2 capacitors on the smoothing side right here and here. Right, yeah, right there and there with smoothing. Y2 capacitor. That might be a varistor actually. So I think I got all the capacitors discharged, but that is a quick and dirty way that you can do it with this little item right there. So that works fine. I am concerned that there's not a discharge resistor across to that capacitor. That is quite disturbing. That is very bad. So yeah, you could get zapped off of this. That could also be how the switches are getting damaged from third-party units. So the 3 wires come in here and they look like the solder was just splooged on there like somebody was crazy. This is your output side. This is your input side. And what I want to do is I want to remove the input side and then put 12 volts DC into, or whatever this puts out on the primary to this. I'll probably put 24 volts or whatever to it. So I'll have to test that. So this really seriously just clipped in like so. Like so. Wow, that's dodgy. That's really dodgy. What does this say this reading is? So it puts 5 volts at 3 amps and 15 volts at 2.6 amps. So it's a dual output. 100 volts to 240 volts AC in, so it's got some serious regulation. So it's a universal charger. But what I need to do is I need to find out where the bridge rectifier is. This is a switch mode supply. So the optocoupler there, the primary windings, and here I have to input after the transformer. So I wonder if these, why would there be 6 diodes, 5 diodes? There's 4 diodes here, and then the one more, that might be a protection diode. I wonder if that's the bridge rectifier, is these discrete diodes. Seriously, reverse engineering is going to have to go into this. Yeah, don't short it out with the resistor. That's why I showed people to do it with the resistor. I recommend, and that setup right here will work on large capacitors because I use the 1/2 watt resistor. But you can actually make, I have probably 8 or 9 pairs of these I've gotten with meters over the times, and I could very easily just take a resistor and solder it in each side, solder it together with some heat shrink over it, and then I could have a permanent unit. But I actually have a box that is on loan to somebody that I use for discharging capacitors and power supplies, which I am going to need back soon. So, but that works in a pinch. Just, I didn't have to get anything. I just built it real quick. So, but yeah, that's the way to do it. So I'm trying to find out where the voltage comes in over here, goes through this, could be a fuse. It says 12.5 amps at 250 volts. I'm not sure. Oh yeah, it is a fuse. It says F1, so, or filter, one of the two. So then we got this goop all over. I hate it when they goop the stuff on. I know it's there for a reason, but still. Can I get to this screw in here? I don't know. Let's see. Yes, I can. This is never going to work as an AC to DC converter anymore, so I am hoping to make it work as a power supply that I can supply DC voltage to. Okay, so that did have a pin on it. I wouldn't have called that. Whatever. So alright, let's see here. I'm not sure what I want to dig this out with. So I'll salvage what I can on this board. The transformer might be useful for a video on how these units work. Before I tear this down, I may stop for it on the stream and make a proper video on it, how to turn this into a power supply for the switch running off a DC power supply. So that way you can control the amperage, but you have to get in before the transformer. So, and I need to know how much voltage to supply it. Should be able to supply it about 24 volts probably, and it would be able to regulate at 15 volts pretty easily. So, I gotta get all this glue off of here. I don't want to damage the output side at all. So, but in order to get the voltages in, I may need to pull this transformer and go off the legs of the transformer, because this is a switch mode supply, so it is going to switch the voltage on and on to get its 12 volts. Or it's 15 volts or whatever, and I want to bypass that altogether, and I want to just feed the voltage into the PD aspect of this unit and get an output. So I think the PD unit is this here. The unit is right there, so I just need to find the power input, because I'm going to have, well, that only has two. That's got to be the output of the transformer, because the input is going to here. So the DC has to go to this point here. So I could possibly just feed in some voltage into these two pins here. These two pins here, because this is the output side of the transformer, so if I feed in voltage, oh, I don't want to repair it. It was working fine, but it was acting weird on switches, and I want to use an OEM charger if I'm going to fix customer stuff, so I want to see if I can turn this into a unit that I can run on my bench supply. I mean, that's the whole point. I mean, there was nothing wrong with it until I broke it apart. But I want to test it. I want to see if I can put in the 15 or 20 volts into the output of this transformer, get rid of the transformer, put in the voltage into the output of that, and see if I can get either 15 or 5, depending on what it negotiates for, output on this unit itself, and then have a power supply that I can power the switch for my bench supply. So I'm going to put a pin in this, and I am going to make a proper video for something for next year on this. It'll be one of the first things I do after the Xbox. The Xbox will be here tomorrow, by the way, and then I will get the video up as soon as possible in the new year. I have I'm going to try to get something up on the first of the new year, but I don't know if it's going to be the Xbox video. But I'm not sure what people think about my new name change of Beyond Engineering and Electronics Repair, or BEER for short. So I'm wanting to see if I should change over my name to that, or keep it the way it is and add electronics. So it'd be ESME for short. So it'd be Engineering Scale Models and Electronics. Or it could be Beyond Engineering and Electronic Repair. They're both a mouthful to say, and yeah, they're both a mouthful to say, but I wanted something with engineering and electronic repair is already taking. So, but I liked Beyond Engineering and Electronics Repair, and then BEER for short. So I'm kind of partial to that. Let me know what you guys think. If you guys think that that's a good thing. Then I have this iPhone 6 that needs a battery. The battery will be here Monday. So the battery will be here Monday on that. And then I still have the rabbit hole switch, and then I have this switch here that I already sold. It's switch number 3 that had the M92 trace repair on it. He asked me, I had pictures up, and he asked me, he said he would pay $20 more if I put a new digitizer on there. So that is what I'm doing. This is set up to put a digitizer on there. But this one had the thermal pad on there, and then when I pulled the thermal pad off, it pulled off the copper tape. So I've been waiting for copper tape to come in. So I got the copper tape, and then I need to replace that, and I need to replace the digitizer, and then this one is sold and out the door. This digitizer, yeah, I don't blame the guy. I mean, I should have switched it in the first place, but I just wanted to put it up for sale. And as you can see, the stuff that's on here, you can't see it with my hand, but this giant scuff right here, that won't come off. So yeah, that's not going to come off. So yeah, so a new digitizer is what he's going to get. I should have did it in the first place before I listed it, but I was trying to make a sale before Christmas, and that was bad practice, bad practice by my part. So I have this part covered up, and I have to clean it. But this is all dusty again, and then I have to put the digitizer on. I'm just waiting to get that done. And then this was another kick that bugged me with fixing these 2 switches that I got fixed and working. So number 2 was working fine. It was the one that wouldn't connect to the dock. It had no issues. It had the P13 trace repair on it. And then all of a sudden, and I think this may have been caused by the charger I was charging it with, which is why I switched chargers and why I have issues with that other one. This one appears to only charge on one side now. So let me hook this up to my meter and see. And we can see what I'm talking about. So we plug this in, it turns on, and it charges that way. So, and then it's going to turn on. So this one charges, and then if I flip it over, let's see here. So if I flip it over, see, now it's charging on both sides. So it must have been the charger that gave me issues. Let's just try that again. So charging. So y'all seeing this, it's charging. And then let's flip it over. Yeah, it's charging. So it was the charger that was saying it wasn't charging on both sides. So this switch can go out because, oh, that pissed me off. Let me tell you, I thought So that's why I got an OEM charger. This one needs a new kickstand, and I bought kickstand right here, and it didn't come with the bracket that goes inside the unit itself. This bracket right here. So again, someone has asked to buy this, and then I went to go replace the kickstand on it, and I need this piece here, which doesn't come when I buy the kickstand piece. So I had to order the kickstand piece, so that will be here. With the holidays, it's taking a little bit longer, but that is where we are on that. So these two are sold. Once they're sold, I'll be getting some more units to work on. So, but like I said, that one just needs a digitizer because I should have replaced it in the first place. And this one I thought was only charging on one side, and I was like, I'm going to keep it just to wait till I put it on an OEM charger, and that is the issue. That issue has resolved itself because it was the third-party charger. So now that is that. So I thought I was going to have to come back and be like, oh, look, I fixed it, but yet it doesn't work. So it's not technically a fix. So they're both good, and as long as I didn't mess up the LCD or anything on this digitizer, that should be a pretty easy finish up on that one and call that one done. So again, with the iPhone 6 that's coming up, this was my phone for, well, up until a few months ago. I had it since the day the 6 Plus came out, and it never had a problem with it. But over the last, for about 6 months till before I got a new one, it charged, but the battery would die very quickly. So I was going to put a new battery in it, but then people were like, oh, that's, $60 for a new battery. And I'm like, whatever. And I got the phone, I got a new XR for free. So, I'm going to try to put a new battery in here. I ordered one. I found them for cheap. So I got a new battery, and I'm going to attempt to replace it. I've never opened an iPhone, but I'm going to open this and see what's going on the inside and see how good I can do with it. To see see what's inside, see what, if anything, I can fix anything, or just to see how small the components are up close. And, this never had any issues. I had it since day one, and never had a repair on it. I kept a front glass on there, and the front glass is cracked, but the front protection glass is cracked, but the actual screen is not cracked, and this should have never been opened. So that'll be interesting getting that open. So that's coming up. I have an iPad mini first generation that I just think is not supported anymore, and I'm going to mess around with that and see what's going on. I have an Xbox One S coming. I'm not going to tell you the fault with that. I want to do it on a video, open it up, and diagnose it. I got all the parts and stuff for that. Thank you, Chris, for stopping by. I appreciate that. But that is basically the extent of the stuff that I got. Some interesting tools, a couple stick vices, or a stick vise, a couple other vices, and some parts, and a toolkit, and things like that. So, thank you guys for watching, and I hope everyone has a fantastic day. Thank you.